Yo, what is up, guys? Alright, I'm finally back with another chess analysis video, man. It's been a while, it's been a minute since I made one of these. But yeah, man, recently just got past 1200 ELO on chess.com, which was a huge milestone for me, man. I've been trying to get to 1200 for a minute now. And yeah, man, this game here got me past that threshold, so I just wanted to share it with you guys. I did want to make it when I had like a proper webcam, a face cam thing, but unfortunately I still haven't gotten this yet. So yeah, I had to make it though. I had to make this video. And the game in particular, wasn't nothing special. I didn't like make any brilliant moves or nothing, or no crazy sacrifices. But I still played with the 81 accuracy, so it wasn't too bad. And I made no blunders. I just made had a few misses and a couple inaccuracies and mistakes. But yeah, it also did kind of end up kind of anticlimactic because I wasn't able to get the checkmate finish like I wanted. But still, I was in control for the most part, and I ended up winning on time. But still, I was with a few more, a few more seconds or whatever, I would have probably gotten the checkmate eventually. But yeah, man. That's with all that being said. Let's go ahead and get started with the actual analysis. All right. So my opponent starts off with e4. Me, I'm a Scandinavian boy. This is my main opening every time against e4. So yeah, played it here. He plays a closed Scandinavian. I believe that's what it's called, closed Scandinavian, when they just push it like that. So yeah, I push my pawn to c5. He brings his knight out. I bring my knight out. We develop our knights. He brings his bishop out, pinning the knight to the king. And yeah, here I push my pawn, which isn't a mistake by any means, but I kind of like locked in my bishop here, which I didn't realize till after I made the move. And yeah, usually what I do is I like to bring my bishop out and pin his knight to the queen or whatever, and then push my pawn. He pushes his pawn to a d4. I bring my bishop out, just defending my knight. He takes on c5, and I take back with my bishop, developing it while also taking the pawn. He takes, I take, and so yeah, man. Here, I just got two nice bishops here. We castle short, so now they're kind of lasering in on that position. If I can, just break free with the pawn, that'd be nice. I bring my knight out to e7. He pins the knight to the queen. I push my pawn here, just attacking the bishop here. And yeah, I take with my queen, just given the given the options for my king to either castle short or long, whichever one is better for me. And also just activating my queen a little bit. He pushes his pawn to a3, and I castle short. He pushes his pawn b4, attacking my bishop. I slide it back to b6. Brings his knight out to c3, and I bring my rook out to d8, just pinning the, or not pinning, but x-raying the queen here through this pawn. And he pushes his pawn to b5, attacking my bishop again. Bring it back, slide it back down to d7, and then he just brings back his pawn to a4. Just yeah, he's like slowly marching these pawns, bro, just in my position. Yeah, I finally, boom, lash out with a6. Thinking he was going to take, but he actually just pushes and, attacking my bishop again. So I have to slide it up to c5, which is kind of nice, actually, because now the queen and the bishop are, connected. But yeah, here I was fully expecting him to take, but he actually just, brings his pawn down, which was the best move was actually taking, I believe. But he doesn't. He just pushes the pawn down, kind of locking this position up over here. But yeah, I guess he didn't want to take because, I would just took back with my rook, and then I would have had my rook here on the... I mean, it wouldn't have had that file because the pawn would have been in the way, but I would have kind of pinned the pawn here to his rook. Yeah, I bring my bishop back out to b5, protected by this pawn, so in case he takes, boom. And then maybe I could take, but, looking back, that probably wasn't the best idea, but still. Yeah, I kind of did this because I was also attacking his rook. And so yeah, he moves his rook over to e1, but yeah, it just allows me to bring my bishop out to b7 and pin the knight here to the rook. Sorry about that noise in the background. It's my cat going crazy on that scratchy thing we got here. But yeah, he brings his rook down to e3, protecting his knight and rook. And man, I missed a good move here. So I ended up going with rook to c8. Targeting this knight here, but the better move would have been boom, pawn, forking the rook and the knight with my pawn, man. So he can't take back with the queen because I have my rook. And if he does take with the knight, I could just take. Oh, it would end up with looking something like this. You know, I take here, and then he has to take back with the rook, and then and yeah, and then I move my queen here. Kind of he can't come here to defend this knight because of my bishop, and he can't come down here. So yeah, basically it's a free knight. It's a free piece right there. I did not see the sequence. I wasn't able to calculate it, so this isn't what happened. But that would have been the best sequence of moves. Yeah. So instead here, I just I make a bit of a miss here with the rook to c8. Yeah, he takes the pawn. I had to take back with my pawn. He brings his queen down to e5, and I bring my queen over to c5. He brings his rook down to c5, or not to c5, to a2. And yeah, here I make my second miss, which so here I was, I totally forgot that this pawn, or this pawn here was like unprotected, because that's the reason why my opponent made that queen move earlier. I'm assuming to target this pawn here. And so that's why I moved my queen here to protect it. And so yeah, I just totally forgot that my queen was protecting that pawn. So I moved up, thinking, okay, expecting the trade of queens here, to go here, take with the bishop or with the rook, and just have myself an extra piece, be up an extra piece. Or I wouldn't be up an extra piece actually. Yeah, no, I wouldn't be. But yeah, I figured I'd just exchange some pieces to make the endgame be a little more simple. But yeah, I just blundered that pawn. I was a little bit scared at this point. I was like, oh shoot, oh no, I messed up. So I just moved my queen back, and yeah, he exchanges the pieces, which is fine with me. And yeah, man, here, honestly, he should have probably pushed. I guess he couldn't push because I would just take back with the pawn. But still, his rook would have been able to, like, infiltrate. Because, yeah, here at this point, I'm just able to take this pawn because he can't take, because this bishop is protected by my rook. And so he has to move his rook over to b3 to protect this pawn, or else this would also be falling down. And yeah, just double up my rooks on the b file here, or the c file, I mean. And then he targets my bishop, but he just completely leaves this pawn undefended. So yeah, now at this point there's like really no threat at all with no passed pawns on this side of the board at least. So I feel pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good. He makes this mistake as well, just completely giving up this pawn. So I take that. And yeah, my opponent, bro, he just does not want to trade rooks. For the entire game, we do not trade rooks until like the very, very end, which is so funny. But yeah, he just pushes his pawn to g4. I had a bit of a brain fart there. And I just take this pawn on f2 with a check as well. So now he has to move his king. Bring back my bishop. He pushes his pawn down to g5. I check him. He goes over to g2. Check him again, expecting the exchange of rooks, but still, he just keeps marching down. Check him again with bishop to f2. He moves his king down to f4. I check him. Damn, bro. If it wasn't for like, I mean, I guess my opponent still had yeah. If it wasn't for this knight, well, actually, what was his move? Yeah. So this move here won me a free knight actually, because this would have been checkmate if it wasn't for the knight. I mean, like if this was like a rook or something, this would have been checkmate. But yeah, he's able to defend with his knight, which I just take, and then so yeah, that was me a free piece, but he's just able to go up, and I just take that pawn. He moves over, attacking my rook, and I just check him with rook to e4. He has to move his king over to f3, and so I take that rook. I'm gonna take that pawn, and so at this point, I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty content. I feel like, yeah, I got this game in the bag. I've taken most of his pawns. He only has two like totally inactive rooks on the right side of the board there, so I was pretty sure I was gonna win. He targets my pawn. But yeah, at this point, bro, I'm just trying. I'm really trying. I'm pretty sure if I would I still had 3 minutes on the clock, so I think if I would have really, thought about what pieces to move in order to checkmate him, I could have. But unfortunately, I just couldn't checkmate him, bro. Like, look at this. I have a king out in the open, and I'm not able to checkmate him. I think I have so much to learn still, man. I'm still such a noob. But hey, man, I was able to hit 1200 still. So I check him here. He goes up, check. I just give him a couple of checks. Finally decided to trade a couple of rooks. And yeah, my opponent just slowly had to wind him down time. I even end up taking his rook there at the end. But yeah, at this point, my opponent was really just trying to make moves to not run out of time. But yeah, he just moves out the way, take his last rook, and yep. Like I said, it's such a shame that I wasn't able to checkmate him. I feel so stupid. But hey, I was still able to get the dub. And yeah, man, 1200. Your boy is finally over 1200, man. I'm so happy. Like I said, the next milestone is 1500. And hopefully for the whole series, I'll have like a webcam so you guys can see my face and stuff. That should be pretty interesting, pretty exciting. But yeah, man, that's all I have for this game. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and hopefully you guys can play a lot better than I have. Yeah, that's pretty much it for this one. Thank you all so much for watching. See you on the next one, guys. Take care. Peace.